Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiana, as usual. This is StoreyHausBooks, and tonight it is Let's Make Stuff Friday. Yes, I know it's late, but it's still Friday, and I'm getting it out. I mentioned in my last video, which was our last series Saturday, where we were working on the lap book, that we were going to do these soft covers. So here's an example of one that I finished, right? And then some other examples that I'm going to show you here in a second. But before we get to that, let's do our shout outs, okay? So let's do our shout outs to Julie, Leanne, Alexis, Judy, and Joanne. Thank you guys for your comments and your feedback. Leanne, I think you might be right about the cards for the lap book. I'm going to look back at the flower cards and maybe change my mind on that, okay? But thank you for your feedback. I appreciate it. We also have some new subbies. So hey, Jen, Karen, and Magda. Welcome to our little community of weirdos. Hope nobody got offended by that, because I'm weird. Anywho, hopefully nobody got offended by that. If you did, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you weird in a bad way. It's a good thing, right? All right, moving on. So yeah, these are what we're making tonight. These are soft cover junk journals, one signature, 5-hole pamphlet stitch. They're made from recycled envelopes, 9x12 envelopes. Yep, it's a little crunchies in there, right? This is a dangle that I put on here that we'll do a tutorial on these if you guys want to do that, but this is not mandatory. It's made from paperclip and some, little charms and whatnot here. This is a closure I'm going to show you tonight. Very simple. Just a button and some elastic, right? Simple, effective, cute. How you put it on, you just hold the button right there, wrap the elastic around the back, and then wrap it around the button, like that. Boom, done. Yeah? Okay, so here's some examples of other ones that I did. So we have this one that's got some lace in the front or the inside cover, like a pocket, right? Another one here, this has got some crocheted lace on the edges there. Another one here with some lace. And here's another one with big lace on the front. You know what I mean, the pinstripes. And this one's got burlap in the inside for pockets. And then here's just another one with some black lace and more lace inside for pockets. So these are just some examples of ones that I've done. As far as the signature itself, I would suggest 20 to 25 pages, right? Would be sufficient if you're going to add more stuff to it. This one's got 25 pages and elements in it. The elements meaning I've got an envelope in here, some doily. I've got a glassine bag in here somewhere. Yeah, right there. Right? And these are all like digitals and coffee dye paper, right? So yeah, that's what I would suggest for the signature. I wouldn't go much bigger than that if you're going to be putting some pockets and whatnot in it. If you're just using it strictly as a diary or a journal, then you could probably put 30, maybe 35 in here if you're just writing in it. Maybe 40. Up to you. Do what you want. But yeah, that's what we're going to make. I'm showing you these because I'm going to be making some for the store. I don't really or normally do, like you guys know, I don't, like for Halloween, for example, I don't do the Halloween type of stuff, right? Mine's inferred. So for Christmas, I also don't really do the ho-ho-ho kind of thing. But this year, I kind of am more kind of a themed, but maybe a little bit Christmassy this year. As far as the digitals are concerned with the paper that's inside these. But I did get some wintry fabric and whatnot. But I'm also working on a new folio. You guys want to see it? Sneak peek? What I'm working on? Why not? Let me show it to you real quick. So yeah, this is what I'm working on also. This is my little wintry folio. It's actually larger than most of my folios. This one actually measures 11 by 7. 7 across this way and then 11 this way. Normally my folios are about 6 1/4 by 10 1/4. But that's how we try a little bit bigger. The cover actually is one of Tim Holtz's frames that I added some texture paste to give like the appearance of snow on it, right? And then one of his metallic craft papers in the back, in like a real light gold. Thought it kind of went nice. Breaking up the colors a little bit. I got these at Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago, and they're attached with brads, and they actually spin around. I'm going to be adding some more to the cover. I'm actually going to be doing some die cutting of gears, and then using the foundry wax in silver. Kind of make them look like falling snowflakes. So there'll be larger ones at the top, and they'll be gradually smaller as you go down. Like I said, this is going to be, I'm going for a wintry kind of steampunky kind of vibe, right? It has a 2.5 inch double spine here, double spine, wrapped with some faux leather here in black, and 1 inch subspines there. right? I've already started on the inside here with some envelopes and then the flip outs that I'm working on. New flip out thing. And I'm working on here, kind of a dealio, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 here. But yeah, the colors are going to be all this icy blue, white, and silver, and a little bit of like a light gold in here. I had this paper pack I got from Hobby Lobby forever ago. I think it's like last year, called Icy Blue. And it's all that teal, white, silver type of coloring. So I thought this would be nice for a the wintry type of deal. Anywho, so yeah, this is one of the folios that, or the folio that I'm working on at the moment, or one of the folios. I've got a couple other ones that are laying around. So yeah, I'll show you those other ones here shortly, but let's get back to what we're doing tonight. So what are you going to need to do this? Yeah? Okay, so first thing you're going to need are the envelopes. I told you we're going to be recycling some envelopes, right? So I got these from an office that they switched locations, and they're getting rid of all their paper. So that they had their address on it, right? Because it's wrong. They moved to going to a new location. So I was able to get a bunch of these, and these all measure 9 by 12, right? Yeah, 9 by 12. 9 by 12. And I've covered up the address here with this black tape. So you need 2 of those, yeah? You can do a different size if you don't have these, but I would suggest they be, at least rectangular, right? And the fabric. We'll need some fabric for the outside cover, and you'll need some fabric for the inside cover. Now, what are those measurements? I'm going to give them to you. Let me grab my little Post-it pad here and my little Sharpie. So, like I said, the first thing you're going to need is the 2 envelopes. Yeah? 9 by 12. You see that? Okay. The next thing you're going to need, you need 1 fabric. Now the fabric, whether it's outside or inside, is going to measure 1 inch wider all the way around. So if this is 9 by 12, we'll need an extra inch of fabric on left and right, top and bottom, because it's going to wrap around the envelope, right? Meaning the outside fabric is going to be 11 by 14. Yeah? So if this is 9 going this way, I need an inch on the top, an inch on the bottom, which means 9, 10, 11. Okay? And then if this is 12 this way, I need an inch on either side. So 12, 13, and 14. Hence, 11 by 14. Okay? It's the same for the inside of the cover fabric. Inside, 11 by 14. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do, I've got this black plaid here that we're going to use for the outside cover. Yeah? And you'll see that it's an inch, about an inch. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but around an inch all the way around, right? Okay? And then for the inside, I'm going to use this black cotton that I got from Amazon. And then this, I think this is actually a little bit smaller than the black plaid, but it still gives me enough of a border to wrap around the envelope, right? So that's my inside and outside fabric. 11 by 14. Okay? We're also going to be needing some cotton batting. Yeah? And the batting, I got some from Joann's. It's going to measure 9 by 12. The exact same size as your envelope, right? So I've already cut a piece here. And there you go. Yeah? You just want to cover the envelope. Okay? So you need that. You need 2 of those, actually. One for the front and one for the back, right? So we need 2 of those. I'm sorry, not 1, but 2. You'll need 2 of those. 2. Okay. Or should I just do... I think I only did 1 on the other one, on the original. Where'd it go? Did I just do the one on the outside? Did I do one? Yeah, I just did the one on the outside. Let's just do the one on the outside. I think. Yeah, let's just do 1. Okay, so scratch that. I'm kind of learning as I go here. So this one here I did, this is an example. I just did it on the outside cover, right? So let's just do that. Let's just scratch that. We're going to do just 1, okay? We're going to do it on the outside. All right, so what do we say? 2 envelopes, 9 by 12. Yeah, one piece of fabric for the outside at 11 by 14. One piece of fabric for the inside of the cover at 11 by 14, and then one piece of batting at 9 by 12, same size as your envelope. Okay, you got the measurements. I'm gonna leave this here for just a second, right there, and we're gonna move on. What else are we gonna need? Well, move this to the side. So we're gonna need some lace or ribbon, right, for this outside piece here, this part here, right? You can use whatever you want. I brought up some burlap and burlap lace that I got from Amazon recently, and then I also brought over some crocheted lace as well. So I'm thinking, at the front or the back? Wait, I can never tell on this stuff which one's the front, which one's the back. I think it's this way. Yeah. So this is one option that I was thinking here. Yeah, which I kind of like. Yeah. And then I also have these. Or these are one of 2 of the 5 that I just purchased with this here. Let me take these out. Here's one option. I'm still kind of leaning towards that crocheted ribbon that I showed you the first time. So there's this one I kind of like. And then there's this, which I kind of like as well. But I think the crochet ribbon is going to win here for this one. Yeah, I think we're going with this one. Here we go. I put these pins back in. We may use these later on a different fabric. But I wanted to get something, you know, I mean, I've got plenty of the crochet ribbon, but I want something thick, and I thought, you know, the burlap would be nice, kind of a rustic touch to the whole wintry, Christmassy kind of vibe, right? But I think we're going to go with this. I like this. And I'm wondering, we should put some other lace behind it. So what about we do that with what? What have I got over here? Oh, geezy crazy. Got a mess going on over here. Here's what I got. Ugh. Ooh, I'm so sorry, guys. Did I mess it up? Not too bad. Okay. Let me bring you guys up a little bit. Actually. Here we go. I think that's good. Right there, you think? Actually, no, I don't like that either. How about that? I think that's good. Okay, so maybe we do have this lace also. We could do kind of like a double thing here. That's 2 different colors, isn't it? Sure is. It's a lot more white than this one is. Well, that might work. The contrast might be okay. Let's see. So we have this one with this over the top, and then another piece, sorry guys, of this lace at the bottom. So we'll do this with this, and this going down the middle. What do you guys think? I don't hate that. I kind of dig it, actually. Let me see here. What do you guys think? I like it. And I actually like the fact that it's 2 different colors a little bit. Gives a little bit of a contrast there. Makes it stand out even more. So there's that option. Or just the cream color. I'm really liking the extra lace. I'm doing it. We're doing it. Okay. So if you're going to do the wraparound lace, you're going to need this piece to measure 14 inches. Okay? Because we're actually going to wrap it around, 16 inches. This should be 16. Because we're going to wrap it around the cover, right? Is that right? No, 14. 14. Let me write this down for you guys. So I'm going to get them all mixed up myself. Okay, so we're going to do our ribbon here at move this up here. Down here, we're going to do 1 lace or ribbon. Right? That's going to be 14 inches long. All right? The width could be whatever you want it to be. Right? So there's another measurement here for you. Okay? So we got... All right. I guess you have plenty of time to write that down. Right? Okay. I'll put these to the side because we're going to use these. Alrighty. Next, I think that's all there is for measurements, I believe. Okay, so you got those measurements down. Pause it, get those down, right? Other supplies you're going to need, we're going to need some Fabritac, right? Because we're working with just fabric. Okay, we'll need that. I also want you to have some large buttons if you have them for the closure. You'll need that for the closure. Some elastic as well, if you're going to use this type of closure. You know, I just got this from Amazon forever ago, right? You'll need that. You'll need an awl, of course, to do your holes for your binding. You'll need some, I got a waxed thread here that I used for my book binding. You need a needle, of course, to do that. I've also got some stick pins to kind of help position the fabric and stuff together. Like, if you're sewing, or because we will be sewing. So I got some stick pins for that, instead of using glue to hold things together like I see other people do it. I actually got my inspiration from Gail Augustinelli, and I will tag her video that I watched to get this inspiration from. I don't do mine exactly like hers. It's pretty close to hers. But like I said, I do the stick pins instead of gluing my pieces together. And I changed the way I do the pockets a little bit as well. Oh, come on. But it's we're pretty close. Almost the same. And my closure's a little different as well. Come on, you. All right. What else are we going to need? Let's see. I said the thread, the needle. We talked about the awl, the closure, the button, the elastic. I think that is it for supplies right now. Okay? All right, let's get started. I'm going to put this all to the side because we don't need any of this right now. I did bring over some dangles that I've already pre-made, so we'll go through those. If we have time, I'll show you how to do those. Otherwise, I'll do the dangles next week, okay? Let me get some water here. One second. Okay, where were we? All right, I think that's it for supplies. Let's go ahead and get started with construction, yeah? Put this over here. Put this over here. Did you guys get all the measurements? Hope so. We're moving on, yeah? What do I do with the envelopes? Duh. Here we go. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with our 2 envelopes. I'm going to move these out of the way. Over there. Stay as tidy as possible. All right, so you got 2 envelopes. Yeah, these are self-sealing. So I'm going to go ahead and seal these. If yours are not, that's fine. I'm actually going to reinforce it with some art glitter, as a matter of fact. So you'll need that too. Where's my art glitter? There it is. Since we're doing paper on paper, I'm going to grab the art glitter glue. Yeah. Make sure I'm in frame here. Do I need to go out a little bit, maybe? There we go. I think that's good. What do you think? All right. So, go ahead and put this down here. Here we go. And the other one. So how was y'all's Thanksgiving? Well, it was good. Mine was actually pretty good. I was actually surprised I got all the timing of all the food. Pretty much dead on, but there was so much of it. I mean, I didn't even do that much. I did, of course, deviled eggs. I always do those every holiday. And then we did some, cheese and sausage and stuff for appetizers and whatnot. Then we had turkey, of course. So it was only the 3 of us, my ex-husband and my daughter. And so I got perfect size. It's only 13 pounds turkey, but it was perfect, right? So we had that. And then we made macaroni and cheese, of course, mashed potatoes, creamy casserole. And I forgot to do the rolls. But, so yeah, we didn't have a whole bunch, but we had enough. And of course, tea and a pumpkin pie. But, I mean, we got through the meal, and it was like everybody was ready to nap. We couldn't even get through a movie before we were all ready for a nap after that amount of food. But it was good. We had a good time and got along, which was nice, So I hope you guys had a good holiday. All right, so next up, we sealed our envelopes, yeah. Now, if you have some sort of writing, or like I did have tape over the writing on your envelope, you're going to want to put that on the inside, yeah? Just to make sure it doesn't show through the fabric on your outside or your inside of your cover, right? So we're going to glue these two pieces together at, eventually, right? So take your first envelope. We're going to put the outside. We're going to do as the outside cover, right? So you'll need first your batting is going to go on first. And I'm going to cover up this address here. With it. I don't think it'll show through. Let me grab the fabric. That tape shouldn't show through. If it does, we can just flip it around. Let's see here. This is the outside. This is kind of a fuzzy thing, so I think this is the outside. So here, I don't think that shows through, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. So let's start with our batting. Yeah, we're going to grab our Fabritac here. Now, I'm going to put the Fabritac actually on the envelope itself because I don't want it to get all gloopy on the batting. Not so much of a problem with the batting as it is going to be with the fabric. So, you don't need much of this stuff. We just want to attach it. No big deal, right? Don't need a whole bunch of glue. Just enough to stick, right? That should be plenty. Here, I have to get another bottle. This is already getting kind of cold around here, so it's kind of getting thick and a little bit gloopy, stringy on me. Okay, and there we go. We're just gonna smush that down. Yeah. Okay. Then we're gonna grab our fabric, right? Put this to the side for a second. All right. This is our outside fabric here. That's the outside of it there, the fuzzy part. All right. Let me just peel off these little stringies here. They're going to be a nuisance. Okie dokie. All right, so you're going to take your fabric, your outside fabric down, right? And we're going to put the batting side down as well, right? Now, you don't even really need to put much glue on this part here. I'm not even going to put very much at all. It's just enough to make it to where it sits still, right? So I'm literally going to be putting just a few strings of it here and only on the outsides because I don't want it to gloop up and come through the fabric, okay? So just a little bit is all you'll need, okay? You don't want to get gloopy anywhere because any of those big gloops will wet the fabric and it'll come right through and it'll stain. Alright, so I'm going to actually rub some of these big little bubbles out. Okay. I'm going to flip this over. And you want to position it to where you have, like I said, at least an inch all the way around the envelope, right? Okay, there we go. Let's make that a little straighter. And I'm going to pull my fabric, just kind of, make it straight and get the wrinkles out from the front there. If you want, you to flip it over and kind of flatten it out this way as well. Yeah? I'm just trying to straighten out these lines here. I'm just going to pull it, I'm going to pull it, real tight, but just enough to make sure it's flat. Kind of straighten out these lines a little bit. Alrighty. Okay, I think we're good there. I don't think it came through anywhere. I don't see any globs or anything on the fabric. Alright, good. I'm going to flip this back over, and now we're going to cut our corners, miter our corners. Grab I forgot to get my fabric scissors. 1 second, you guys. I'll go grab those. Okay, so I bought the Tim Holtz, the haberdashery scissors from Tonic Studios. This is what I use for fabric only. This is the smaller of the two. There's a larger version of these. I don't remember the exact measurements. But we're going to cut the corners here. Oh my goodness. I think I need a little bit more over here. Pull this a little bit. Okay. Let's see how it looks on this side. Yeah, we're good. Okay. We're going to miter the corners here, which means we're going to cut these corners at an angle. Right? So just take this and make sure you leave a little bit of space between the corner and your cut. Okay? You don't want to cut all the way to the corner. You want to cut it right about there. It's about, I know, no more than 1/4 of an inch or 1/3 of an inch from this corner. Okay? So we're going to cut it at an angle. Like that. We're going to turn it. Do the same thing on this side. Yeah? Kind of look like that. Yeah? Just do that all the way around. Go. Now, better to leave a little bit more fabric than you need than not enough, because you don't want this corner to show when you wrap it around, right? You can always cut some more fabric off versus you can't add any more to it if you cut too much off, so be careful. Okay, there's the last corner here. Okay. Alright, let's get this fabric out of the way. Alright, now we're going to wrap our fabric around the envelope. I like this little case it comes in. It's cute. Alright, now we're going to bring out our Fabritac again. Okay. Now this time, if it gets gloopy, it's fine, because we're just going to cover this with the other envelope. So, use as much as you need to get it to stick, right? Alright, let me make sure I'm in frame here. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I get it up against the batting in the envelope, right? Let's get a nice bead going there. Then I'm going to come up at an angle on the envelope and across. And then back down. Okay, that's all I'm going to need. Or that's all I'm going to use. I'm starting in the middle. I'm going to bring my fabric up. Don't pull it too tight, because you don't want to bring it down from the other side. Yeah, just make it nice and straight. You also don't want to wrinkle and crinkle the envelope underneath by pulling it too tight. Okay? Okay, I think we're good there. Alright. Let's do the other side here. Just making sure it's nice and flat down there. I think we're good there, aren't we? Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, now we're going to do this side. Darn it, more stringies coming off. I'm sorry, guys, I need to pull these off. They're going to get in the way. There we go. Okay, one more little piece right there. Alright, now, let's grab your Fabritac again. Make sure you get up under that envelope, up to the batting, right? Where the fold is going to be. There, and then up at an angle on the envelope, all the way across, back down to the corner. Yeah? It's getting stringy on me. Alright, starting in the middle again. Just pull it up. And then work your way out from the center. Yeah? Okay. Make sure you're not rolling up the envelope, right? By pulling it too tight. Okay, let's try to make sure that that is nice and straight, not curved anywhere. I'm going to pull this up a little more. That's the batting. Okay, that's fine. I'll pull that up. Okay, I thought it was the envelope. It's actually the batting that's rolling out. It's a little bit longer than it's supposed to be, but that's okay. Okay, just gonna make sure that that's straight on this side. Looks pretty good there. Okay, let's just roll this corner up a little bit. Alright, I think we're good here. Alright. Check this side too as well. Yep, I think we're good. Okay, so now we're gonna do the ends, right? Okay, let's just flip this around. Grab our Fabritac again. Same deal, rinse and repeat. Well, this time we're going to fold the corners in, right? So So we're going to put our bead down at the fold. Okay. And for this, we're going to go up, just like we did on the long ends here. Up at an angle and across. And then down. Alright, starting at the center, actually, I'm sorry, at the edges here, or the ends. We're going to fold this part in just a little bit. Right? To get us a nice corner. And then we're going to flip this part up. So just roll it, fold it in. Right here. And then flip it up. Yeah? Oop, it's flipped out on me. There we go. There we go. Alright. If you need to, you grab your bone folder, kind of smush that side, that corner down. Right? Do the same thing on this side as well. Just kind of roll it in. Like so. And the edge of the fabric, you want to fold that in just a little bit so it's nice and clean, it's not frayed. And fold that piece up. Like so. Just like that. Yeah? And then work your way down your fabric. Okay? Oops. Stringies. Fell stuck to me. Okay? Now, again, just like you did on the long side, just work your fabric up, make it nice and straight. Hold this up a little more. Okay. Push down right here a little bit. I'll put a little bit more glue to keep this flap down. Push that. I got some. My fingers are getting all sticky. Starting to stick to the fabric a little bit. I'll use my bone folder this time. Fingers sticking. Okay. Get some glue off my fingers. Use my glue eraser. Quick way to get the glue off your fingers if you have a glue eraser or a residue eraser like this. I got mine from Family Dollar, or sorry, Dollar Tree rather. In their craft section there. And it gets all that glue off pretty quickly. Otherwise, you get the glue on your fingers and your fingers are going to start sticking to the fabric, and that is not a good time. Okay. Alright, let's do the other side here. Same deal. Okay, am I in frame here? Yeah, I am. Okay. Put your Fabritac down. Yeah. Go up, envelope, across, and down. Yeah? Alright. Same deal, we're going to fold in our little corners here. And we're going to roll up this edge, like so. And then fold it over. Yeah? Like that. Okay? Same on this side. Roll that corner in, fold over this edge, and fold it up. Yeah? And then work your way to the center. If you need to, use your bone folder there. Just flatten that out, that corner out. Okay, you may need to put a little bit more glue to keep that corner flat down, like this. No big whoop, just put a little bit more Fabritac right there. And push that down, yeah? There we go. All right, then work your way to the center. Make sure your edge is straight there. I'm going to just take a quick peek here. Glue sticking to my fingers. I'm sticking to the fabric. There we go. Okay. Don't worry if it's a little bit messy because we're going to cover all this up. Okay? Alright. So here we go. There is our outside cover. We're going to let that dry. So put this to the side while we do the inside cover. The inside envelope. So grab the second envelope, yeah? And then grab your inside fabric. You can use for the inside cover, right? And for this one, I'm going to put the address side down, right? Why? Because then it'll be on the inside of the cover and you won't see it through the fabric, right? So, I'm going to put it like so. This is going to be the side we glue down to the other cover, okay? So put your fabric down. And the part we're going to glue to the other envelope will be up, right? Okay. So just be like this, all right? So let's put our glue on. And again, I'm going to put it on the paper, not the fabric itself. And there's just going to be just enough to get it to stick, okay? So I'm just going to do the outsides here. I'm not going to do very much, very thin bead. And just a little bit in here, and then I'm going to spread out any globs with my finger. Or if you have a glue spreader, that works as well, right? So any kind of like little globs, I'm just going to spread out here, like so. Kind of hit the edges here. Like I said, we don't need much, just enough for it to stick. I don't think I see any more globs there. Do you? Right there. All right. So I'm going to flip this over and line it up so we have at least an inch all the way around, right? At least an inch. Okay, I think we're good here. All right, and I'm going to flip this over a little bit. Get this glue off my fingers as well. If I use my glue spreader, I wouldn't have to do this, now would I? Well, that just makes too much sense, Tiana. Alright, I'm just going to spread this out a little bit. I did iron this, but still, I could get the wrinkle out of the seam part there. Okay, I think we're good there. Alright. I just got too much glue on my fingers, y'all. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, so like we do with the other cover, we're going to miter the corners here. Just grab my scissors again. And again, just at an angle, leaving some fabric at the corner, right? Okay, cut right here. Alrighty then, I think we're good here. Okay. Should be needing these again, so put that away there. Alright, and just like we did with the cover, or the outside cover here, we're just going to wrap this around. Come on, glue. Here we go. Thin bead here, up at an angle there, and then across, and then down. Yeah? Starting in the center, we're going to pull up. Okay. Just working our way around here. Yep, it's getting stringy. Okay. I think we're straight there. Looks good. Don't see any seepage coming. All right, let's do our ends here. Okay. Come on, stringies. Ugh. All right, again with the corners, we're just going to roll this corner in here, and then lay that down, then roll your edge up a little bit, like so, and then flip that over. Yeah? There we go. Okay, same thing over here. Just push this edge in to where it's flat, roll up this edge here, and then flip it over. Yeah? There we go. Come on. And flip it. My fingers are getting stuck because I have glue on my fingers. Like I said, we're going to cover this so it doesn't have to be pretty. It has to be flat, right? Ideally, you want it flat. My fingers are sticking to the fabric. Just pulling it up. Okay. There we go. Alright, I'm going to use my bone folder here to push out the fabric on the ends. Push that down. Push this side down. There we go. Okay. Stay down. Here we go. Like I said, it doesn't have to be pretty. It has to be down flat. God, there's so much glue on my fingers. I should probably grab my glue better. Probably be a better, less messy proposition. Here and up, across. There we go. Da, 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 da. Alright, I'm going to use my bone folder this time. I think maybe this will help. Right here. Let that flat. That's not helping. I don't have any control. Okay, so lay this flat there. We're going to roll this edge over just slightly. And then flip this up. There. My fingers are just so sticky right now. There we go. Same thing on this side. Lay this part flat. Push this side in. And then roll over our fabric edge there and flip it up. Yeah? That works a lot better on that side. And then work our way to the center here. Use my bone folder here to kind of flatten out this corner. I've got like cheesecloth strands everywhere too. Where did that come from? Okay. Let's get this flat. Okay, I think we are good here. All right, we are good. This side looks nice and clean, so we're good. All right, so now we're going to take our two covers, our outside cover and our inside cover, and we're going to glue these together. Now, we are going to stitch these, so I only want you to put glue here in the middle, okay? Why? Because we're going to be doing some edging possibly, but our lace that goes around the outside here is going to fold underneath here, and then we're going to sew it shut, okay? So, put the glue here in the center, on the paper, on the envelope only, okay? Like I said, we're going to stitch the entire thing all the way around, and that will close it up. So I'm just going to do glue here in the center like so, yeah? And line up my covers, right? Now you don't want anything hanging over, so just line it up. Okay, you got some time with the Fabritac to move things around. You don't want to be seeing the inside cover hanging over your outside cover, right? Let's see here. Right. I think we're good here. Keep working it around till you get it positioned right, yeah? Let's see here. Making sure I can't see the inside cover on the outside. Maybe it shows a little bit, it's fine, but trying to not see it best I can. Okay, I think we're good there. You think? I think you're good. We're good here. I'm just gonna press that down. Flip this over here, just kind of get off the little glueies. There's some stringy here. Oops. Okay, I think we're good there. Alright, we're going to set this aside for just a second. And we're going to cut our lace, right? So we said our lace needs to be 14. And since we are doing kind of like a triple stack here, let's cut this at 14. Right there. Yeah. Let's do it this way. It's easier. To there. Oh, I lied. I need my scissors. Once again. Let's keep these out. Okay. Alright, so 14 would be right about here. Give or take. We just want to make sure we have enough length so we can wrap it in, around the cover to the inside. Okay, that's 14. That should work. And we'll need 2 of these as we're doing top and bottom piece here. There we go. Let's do it this way. Okay, that's 14 there. Ish. I don't mind if it's a little bit longer, it's just if it's too short, then we're gonna have a problem. So at least 14, right? Okay. One more piece of this, and then we should be good to go. Come on, get out of my way. What is going on up here? Okay. A little bit longer there, just to be sure. Okay. Right there. That's good. Alrighty, put that to the side. So we're going to have it on the outside cover. That piece there. This piece will go next. Right? Speak them up. And this side will go after that. Which side is the back? That's the outside, right? Yeah. Like this. Okay? So what we'll do is we'll just put a little bit of glue just to tack it down on the fabric, and then we're going to sew these edges down once we fold these pieces in. Okay? Alright. What do I mean by that? Okay, let's grab our covers now. Or cover, rather. And since we left that little piece there, we could tuck this lace in, right? So I'm going to grab this top one here. This is the top side. Yeah, this is the top side. Just kind of place it, position it, see where I want it. Yeah, this is the top side here. Try to find the middle here. That looks about right. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to take this piece away. I'm just going to fold this piece in like so. We're going to let that gap. Yeah. And the same on the other side. Okay, let's make sure it's straight. Bring this down just a little on this side. Okay, now you can put a little bit of fabric, a couple dots here to keep the fabric down, if you'd like. I'm not going to. Don't really see a need, because once we sew the edges down, and then we're going to sew down here with the pamphlet stitch, it'll be secure. Yeah? Okay, so I think that's straight there. Okay, there's that. Now this piece is going to go right underneath it, like so. And again, I'm just going to use my bone folder to push that in there. Push that in. My finger will work better. I'm still experimenting with this little craft. Trying to find easier ways to do some things, or different ways. Okay. Now I brought some stick pins that I thought we could use to keep these edges down so they don't come out. So let's do that. Let me grab my stick pins here. Now you don't have to do this. You actually glue that down if you'd like. Once you get the fabric in there. But I'm just gonna do that real quick, just to keep it straight, and then I probably will glue it down once I get these attached here. Here's one. And then we'll do this side as well. Come on, there we go. Oops, it's got a little gimp in it. Straighten that out. Okay. Get in there. Still straight. Yeah, okay. Make sure that's nice and tight right there. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to put one more right down here in this piece. Okay. I think we're good there. Alright, now that I've got these pinned down, I'll grab the other piece here. So I'm sure that's the top. I think this is the top of that. All right, let's put this in the middle here. And then tuck it under as well. Yeah. I need a little bit more on this side, I think. Here we go. Oops, came out. Okay, let's measure this and get this nice and even as well. Get in there. You keeps wanting to pop out, doesn't it? It's kind of one of the reasons I pinned it. So it might come out of that little gap, but it won't come off the cover. I need to bring this down some, I think. Take this pin out. And then bring this down some, right there. That's better. Okay, do the same thing over here in a second. I'll put this pin back in. Like so, take this pin out. Straighten this side up. Like that. Okay. Okay, and there we go. All right, I think we're good here, and I think I am going to go ahead and glue these down just a little bit. Flip this around. Grab my Fabritac here. Flip this open, and I'm going to just put a little bit of beads, a few beads here, or a long bead there. Yep, and that should keep our fabric in there. Nice and tight, I hope. Get in there. Okay, I think we're good. I should keep everything in there, yeah, I think. Okay, let's do the other side as well. I'm going to just flip this open. And put a bead there. I'll use my bone folder to hold that fabric down. There we go. Okay. Now, next step here is I'm going to take this and sew it. Yeah? Okay. Now I'm going to sew it. Now, I'm going to start here in the back corner, right? So when we fold it, that's the back corner, right? So I'm going to start here and I'm going to do a straight stitch all the way around, right? It'll actually stitch this part down, keep it nice and stable. Do that all the way around. I'll be right back. Okay? So hold please. Okay, guys. I know this video is getting kind of long, but you know, we're going to go start to finish. Probably don't have time to do just this one. But, okay, so I went ahead and did my straight stitch all the way around. And you'll notice that it kept the fabric down, right? Or the lace down. So we got this little bit of gap here. Once we do the pamphlet stitch, that'll keep the center part stable, right? You'll still have this here. That I kind of think you can kind of use it as like a belly band. Put things in if you want. Or not, whatever. If you wanted to, you could take some Fabritac and go around this edge here. If you'd like to keep it down even further on your edges of your lace, just a couple dots just to keep it stable if you wanted to. I don't see the need for it, or I haven't seen the need for it yet, and this is the way Gail does it, so we're going to go with what she does, right? Okay, so we got our lace wraparound, and we got the cover sewn down, right? You know how I like to leave my stringies here. You don't have to do that. You can cut yours off if you want, but I like them now. Anywho, let's go to the signature, okay? I wanted to show you some things that I was working on with this. So I did pick a digital, and this is from, oh shoot, Craft Art House Book. I'll put the link to the digital if you're interested in the description below. But there's 20 pages, and I went ahead and did my tearing, but I wanted to show you something. So the actual digital, I printed these on coffee dyed paper, 24 pound, and I don't do mine 50 page. I do mine, I uncheck that box and it leaves this border all the way around. So when I first did these, normally I would, what's cute, these are really cute pages, but you know, I like them. I think this would be cute in there. I did these all one-sided, but I was kind of struggling because normally I will tear my paper all the way around, get the white border off, which is what this is. I didn't quite like it, so I did kind of like the border around it, but I didn't want this much around it. So then I went and tore it and left just like a millimeter or two all the way around, which is what I do like. Okay, so I went ahead and did the tearing on most of them, except for a couple, just so you guys can see how I tear them, if you want to see them, see how I did it. But you'll notice, like I said, I left a little bit, sorry about all the glue on my fingers, it's so gross. But like I said, I left about 1 millimeter of border all the way around all the pages, yeah? On all of it. So, kind of like a precision tear kind of deal. I have to be a little careful with it. I use my metal ruler for this, and then I just line it up and position it where I want to tear it, which is right there. I want to leave a little bit of that white border all the way around. So let's carefully tear this so I don't tear the paper in the wrong direction, right? Like I said, I wanted the white border, but you also can't control how much of that is going to be printed out. Because sometimes, like here, this is going to be a little bit narrower than it is up here. This way I can control it and just leave a little bit of that white border, not the whole thing. So, just gotta be careful here. This is a little bit fiddly. So just be careful and make sure you press down on your ruler so the paper doesn't come out from underneath there. Take your time if you're going to do it this way. Or if you're not using digitals, just use whatever, coffee dyed paper, found papers, what have you. But I'm going to use this digital and all the ones that I, in the, not the series, but the, what do you call it? What would you call it? My little wintry, Christmassy line, I guess. I don't know. Here we go. Yeah, I think it looks nice with a little bit, the little big tiny bit of border. I think it looks nice. And then once we ink it, I think it'll look even better. I tested out a couple inks, and we're going to use Expresso, ground Expresso, Oxide. I tried walnut stain, and I tried scorched timber, and I tested vintage photo ink, not the Oxide, and I think the ground Expresso, you know, matches the best with some of the smokiness in the coloring of the digital. Yeah. So like I said, I tore all the pages except for the last two, so you guys can see this step if you're interested on how I do it. Okay. Moved. There we go. Ah, it moved. So you gotta press down on that ruler as you're tearing, so it doesn't do that. Okay. Nice recovery. Whew. Don't panic. Okay, let's press down the ruler. Okay, go. And this last edge, ooh, it's going to be kind of hard. Look how thin it is, or narrow it is compared to down here. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Alright. Here we go. Right there. Okay. Press down really hard here. There we go. Nice. Whew. Okay. Let's get rid of these little thingies. Alrighty. So like I said, I did one-sided here, and I'm going to show you a little trick, because I am going to ink these, but not one page at a time, okay? I'm going to go ahead and fold these, and then once I have my signature all folded, I'll show you how I ink these really quickly, okay? Now, I went ahead and looked through here, and decided which one I wanted as my cover page, which is going to be this one here, right? So that'll be the first one, and I'm going to fold them all the same direction, except for the centerpiece, which I haven't picked out yet. So let's look through these and see which one will be good for the centerpiece. The center page, rather. That's a nice one. Maybe that one. Let's see here. That's kind of nice there. There's dark glue on my fingers. Sorry, guys. I can't stand it. Alright, so this one, let's see. That's kind of a nice one there. It's an option. That's a nice one, too. This one there. Now this is going to be a blank journal. I'm not going to do any decorating in the, or putting any pockets in. That's for the, for the new owner to do all on their own. I'm just doing the theme part here. That's nice too. Okay, so that's out of the way. Okay. So let's see which one we're going to use for the center here. No. Maybe. Let's put this one back in the running. That in the run. No. 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 Maybe. This one. Okay, these three now. So I'm going to open up to that. That in the middle? No. This one is nice. Or this one. I think I'm leaning towards this one. This one. That's the center. Okay, that'll be the center. So that I'll fold in another direction. But all these I'm going to fold, have the image on the outside, basically. So when you run through the journal, you'll have one writing page and then one image, right? So it'll be like, you know, one blank, one image, one blank, and image. I'll do it that way all the way through to the center, except where that will be double-sided, right? Now you can fast forward through this part if you want to. Please feel free. You're not hurting my feelings. But like I've said before, I get a lot more comments about liking the fact that I show all the steps, right? And that you can always fast forward if you don't want to watch this part. So again, I'm only doing 20 pages. I might put an envelope in here. Or maybe some doily as well. Might not be bad. Might be kind of cute. Let's straighten this out here. There we go. And I don't have these other recipes in any certain order. It is totally random. So I might go through it again and make sure there's nothing that's too similar back to back, right? I really like this tiny bit of border around it. I think it totally changes the way it looks. I really didn't like it when I tore all the border off. I mean, it just didn't look right at all. We were supposed to put the tree up today, but we were all so tired from the food, and God, I mean, I slept. I mean, we went to bed, or it was supposed to be a nap after we had our, Thanksgiving early dinner. Basically, we ate around, I think it was around 4 or 5. Finished up, about an hour later, but I went to take a nap, and I ended up sleeping until this morning. That was like 6 o'clock this morning. I just couldn't get up out of bed after that. Alright, so the centerpiece I want to flip or fold this way with the image on the inside. So when you open it up, it'll be like this, right? So we have all these pages here, blank and an image, same way all the way around, all the way through to get to the center page, right? And then you have 2 blanks, center page, 2 blanks, and then it switches sides, right? So you write on the right side, right? So I don't like that one there for some reason. I'll move this one up here. Yeah. Okay. So to make sure that there's not like something odd sticking out. So let's flip through this real quick. That's cute. Two ledgers. Let's do this real quick. I'm going to flip this one around. Like this. That. Look at all the ledger pages and receipts and stuff in here. That's nice. Okay, I think we're good. All right, there's our signature there. Yeah. So I'm just going to give this a little bitty burnish here with my bone folder. I think I'm going to go through here and give this a nice good burnish again. Save a couple of pages. Really nice and tight there. Just every couple pages. You don't have to do every single one. Get a nice crease so they lay in tight in the binding there. Okay. Yeah, almost done here. Oops. Now you want to just make sure everything is nice and tight because you don't want these pages sticking out too far, right? Now let's make sure that these aren't sticking out of our cover, right? So I'm just going to fold this in half, all right? I have to work it a little bit. It might crick a little bit where the page, you know, because of the envelope and whatnot. But you should be pretty good to go here and just press that down here. There's our cover. Hopefully this won't stick out. Nope, we're good to go. Perfect. Got a nice edge all the way around there. About a little bit less than half an inch all the way around. Right there. See? Fits perfect. Right? Okay. So I am going to ink the edges. I'm going to show you a little trick that I do to do this real quickly. So I'm going to grab my ground Expresso, Oxide, and my dauber here. So now that I've got everything folded and put together, I'm just going to do this. The top here, even that out, and just hit it like that. And it should, you know, grab the top of every page, like that. Okay? And it's not going to hit every single one. You can go back in if you want to, but this is a real quick way to do it. Okay, flip it over. Do the same thing on the back's underside here. Okay. Looks like it's pretty good, right? And then for the sides here, see how it's kind of sticking out a little bit, right? So I'm just going to kind of roll it to where these kind of fan out, and then hit them on both sides. That. Kind of like when you roll up a newspaper, right? And just let those fan out. And do the other side the same way. Just roll it, let this part fan out. And just hit the edges there, like that. Quick and easy way to get your edges done really fast. Quick and easy, right? Do as much or as little as you like. Fan it out as much or as little as you like. You're not going to hurt the paper. But this is much faster than doing each page one at a time. And they're pretty well done. I mean, they're pretty much done on both sides, right? Looks pretty good to me. Now, like I said, if you want to do some more, up to you, but this is just a little trick that I do just to get all the pages real quick. Yeah? Here we go. Okay. Perfect. All right, there's our signature. Now let's put our holes into our journal here. So I'm going to line this up here. Position it where I want it. In the center here of the cover. Here we go. Okay. I've got some binder clips here that I'm going to use. I have 4. Let's find the center of our signature. Right there. Okay. And then I'm just going to clip this in. Like so. Okay. Slip this around. Clip it in. And there we go. Yeah? All right, make sure this is straight here. There we go. That's better. I think we're good now. All right, I'm gonna grab my awl, pokey tool, whichever you want to call it. We're doing a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, which means we're gonna do one in the center, 2 here, and then 2 there, right? So I start at the center, and I'm eyeballing this, right? Find the center there, just press down, press out. Now, the fiddly part of this is that you have to move fast because, I'm going to go ahead and thread my needle, because the cloth and all the fabric stuff may start to self-heal and collapse on itself. So you may have to punch these holes as you're going again, right? So as far as length of the thread, I do 3 and a bit, I call it. So it's 1, 2, 3, and a bit. Yeah, that's how I do it. Let's clip that off right there. Alright, thread this needle so I have it at the ready. Okay, put that right there. Alright, so we started in the center, right? Got that going, and I do that a few times so we have to go through this hole twice. So I kind of like expand it a little bit, so I'll move my awl around a little bit to kind of expand the hole. Alright, then I go to the top about 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the paper, from the top, right? So right about there. Yep, let's press down, push this one through, and again I'm gonna kind of widen the hole a little bit just because we'll have some self-healing of the paper and the fabric. So just wiggle that around, and then halfway between these 2 holes will be my 3rd one. Again, I'm just eyeballing it. Now you can mark these if you want beforehand. It's up to you. Okay. And then we're going to go down to the bottom. The same thing, about 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the paper. Right about there. Hit that. Press that through. Come on. Here we go. Well, wiggle that around a little bit. And then halfway between the bottom hole and the middle is going to be our final and 5th hole, right? Let's push that through. Come on. There we go. Wiggle that one around. Okay. I think we're good there. Now we may have to do that again as we're going through. No big deal. I'll show you how to do that. Alright, we're going to start in the inside the center hole and just go out. Oh, good. I found the hole pretty easy there. Come on. I got a pretty thick needle that I use, by the way. Alright, hopefully I can find the hole on this side. Let's see, and I don't see it. Alright, so this is where I'll take my awl and go back to that hole to find it. There it is. Right there. Now I know where it is. Right back through that hole, it's right there. Did I find it? I did. Woohoo! I'm gonna come up through there. Okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back down and out to the top hole here. Hopefully, it goes right through. There we go. This is why I widen the holes a little bit. Come on. There we go. And, alrighty. And now we're going to go back through the second hole from the outside in, being very careful not to go through the thread, right? So I'm going to pull it tight against this way. I'm going to go back into the same hole. Trying not to thread that's already, or go through the thread that's already in there. This part is a little bit difficult. So I gotta find the hole. Almost there. I can feel it. There we go. Come on. Well, maybe not. Come on now. Where is it? There it is. This is not easy. I'm telling you right now, it's You have to be patient with this part here. There it is. And there we go. Just gotta get through the paper. Here we go, almost there. I can feel it. It's gone through halfway. I'm just trying to get to the other half. There it is. Almost there it goes. All right. Hopefully I didn't go through the threading. Nope, I did not. Okay, now we're going to go down to the 4th hole from the top. And go in and back and out. There we go. There we go. Let's try to keep our lace straight as we're doing this. Actually, that moved. So let's straighten that up a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, let's pull this down. There we go. That's better. All right, let's try that again. We go out to the 4th one here. There we go. There we go. Like that. All right, and the 5th hole at the bottom, we're going to go in. I can see it right there. I think that's it right there. Let me see here. I'm going to go through it with the awl one more time. Find it right there. Okay. Here, it's right there. Is that it? Or is it that one? I thought it was right here. There it is. I got it. Alright, just gonna get it through into the paper. It's going through now. Just gonna feel my way through here. There it goes. There you are. Press that down. Pull that through. Then we're going to go up to the 4th hole again and go out, right? Being careful not to go through this thread itself. That's already in there. Hopefully we did not. All right. And then finally we're going to go back in through the center hole, okay? Find that here. Come on. Hold this a little tight so I can see here. There we go. There it is. Got it. Okay. I know this isn't the easiest of projects, you guys, but I thought you guys would enjoy this. It's something that you could do. Something new, you know, make it a soft cover, right? Alright, so I'm going to take my needle off here, and you want the center thread here, you want each tail on either side of that, right? So I'm going to push this through so I have a thread or a tail on either side of the center line, right? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take off my binder clips before I tie everything down. Why am I doing that? Because I want to make sure everything's nice and straight. It hasn't moved around during the threading process or the sewing process here. Alright, everything looks straight now. Now I'm going to tighten everything up, starting here. I'm going to pull this way a little bit. Looks like I did go through that a little bit, so I'm just going to cut that little string right there. Okay, now let's see if I can pull this tight. There we go. And then I'm going to pull the tail, the corresponding tail, which I think is this one. Yep, pull that nice and tight right there. And then do the same thing on the other side. Just pull here. And then pull the corresponding tail. And then to double check, make sure I'm tight here, I'm going to check the outside strings. I kind of pluck them like guitar strings, make sure they're nice and tight there. See how it keeps that center part down? So we are good to go there. And just make sure this is nice and straight before we tie down the center knot. And I think we're good. Alright, and I do a triple knot here, square knot, so the left over right, then the right string over the left string, and under, and then the left string here over the right, and through, and that is a double square knot. I'm going to cut off the excess here, just leave it a little bit hanging out the bottom. Yeah. Fold over our signature here, and I'm just going to press it down right there. Little bit pieces. Dust there. There we go. fold this down, and we are good to go, you guys. Alrighty, so there is our journal. Now we're going to make the closure, right? Let's work this paper cover a little bit. Alright, there is our cover and our closure, real simple. We're going to take our elastic here. We're going to pick a button. And I think I'm going to go with a large black one. I think that'll work just like that. Yeah. And we're going to measure it, I'm going to do like so. Here, how did I do that last time? Alright, I want it to be, I'm going to put a loop in it where the button's going to be, right? And I want it just to go around one time, right? So if we're doing it one string here, let's do, I think we go around twice. I ought to do it once, twice. I think that ought to do it right there. Yeah? That's going to be too much, I think. I think it's too much. Let's do, yeah, okay, we're going to go around one time. So starting here, yeah, all the way around one to here. Yeah, and then cut it. That ought to be plenty. Come on. There we go. Alright, take your elastic here and you're going to make it even here to where it should. This is where the button will be. It'll go around like so. We'll tie the edges. It'll be tight enough to wrap around all the way, right? I think it's perfect. So once all the way around. Again, to measure your elastic, you start at the edge here. And we're going to go hold it down. We'll go around twice. And it should meet up on the other side. Okay? That should be plenty. Alright, take your button. You're going to thread your elastic through the holes. You know, two of the holes, rather. As long as the holes are across from each other. So I'm going to go kind of like a diagonal a little bit. Thread that through, even up your ends here, and just pull that through like so. Yeah? And then you're going to tie your knot at the end. Now, make sure I tie enough here. I'm going to hold my button right here where I want it to close. Alright, wrap this around. And I got plenty of tail to cut to tie the knot, right? So make sure this is nice and even at the ends. Pull this a little bit on this side. Okay, and I'm going to tie a square knot here at the bottom. So left over right. Alright, and the right one over the left one. Like that. That leaves you a nice square knot like this. Pull tight this way. Pull tight this way. And just work it till it catches. And it'll start getting tight on itself and it won't unravel. That's why you want a square knot. Okay. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to hold the button here. Right? Then just wrap it around like so. Wrap it around the button like that. Now we can clip off these little edges here, or these ends, if you'd like. You don't have to, but I'm going to. Just a little bit. I'm going to leave a little bit there. But I kind of squared out so it shouldn't come undone. There we go. And put that underneath there. And there is our closure. All done. Here we go. Yeah? Alright, so we are done with this part. We can put a dangle on it if you'd like. So I've got some dangles here. We're not going to have time to do one. I will be doing a tutorial on these either next week or the week after. Of these layered ones. These are all kind of different dangles that I have in here. But let's do one. It's kind of a long one. How about, what do we got here? I want to do one of these paperclip ones, but I don't think I have any charms on these other ones. I think I just have the bulb clips on them. So we'll do, oh, I don't know. How about this one right here? Why not? Why not? Maybe this one's kind of cute too. Maybe this one like this. Has a little bit of a, you know, that's cute. Let's do that one. Okay. So all we're going to do here is take the bulb pin. We're just going to attach it to the fabric. Right? We're just going to run it through there. You could put an eyelet there if you wanted. I'm not gonna. And just, you know, thread it through there. Like so. Come on. Come on out. Where is it? Here it goes. No, that's not enough. Didn't grab enough fabric. Here we go. This is what I did. I just went through the fabric on the front cover and then just attached it, right? Pulled it down. There's your dangle right there. And we're done, ladies and gents. What do you think? It's cute, right? I think it's cute. I like it. So yeah, there is our soft cover made from recycled envelopes. Little single signature journal, blank journal. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a set of these in those fabrics I showed you earlier for the winter Christmas holiday. And if there's one you'd like to see or fabric that you'd like or whatever, let me know. But yeah, this is it. And I think it's so cute. I love it. Right? And if you wanted to, you could even sew inside here a piece of lace here at the bottom to make it a pocket. I was hoping we'd have enough time to do one, but this is running already an hour and a half. So, do we have enough time to do it? I think I do, because I've got this one that's already half done. And we can do this one real quick with the pocket at the bottom. We're just going to do it. Let's just do it. Let's close this one up here. We're going to do it. We're just going to do it. Do it. Gonna do it. Alright, there's that one. If you want to stay, hang out with me a little bit longer for this part. Let's just grab another envelope and some of that black fabric I've already got pre-cut. Yeah? And do I have another envelope? I don't. Oh, darn it. One second, guys. Alright, you guys. So, while I was gone, I was contemplating things. So we're going to do a cover here where we actually have a pocket running at the bottom, right? So let's go ahead and put everything together and then we'll discuss some options here. Okay, so we got the cover done, or the outside envelope done. So let's do the inside here. And again, let's seal this envelope real quick. Thought it was already done, but it wasn't. If you're wondering what the mess is on the front of this envelope, that was me trying different methods to cover up the address. So I tried spray stain, and actually you could see the ink through that. And then I tried masking tape, and you can still see it. So then I tried Sharpie, and then I ended up doing just masking tape over all of it. So that's what that hot mess is. Okay, so we're going to put this side down, right? Just put a little bit of Fabritac on it. Just a smidge. Oh, it is goopy now. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see here. What is on my finger? More ink and glue. Gotta get this stuff off. Man. Okay. Ugh. It is everywhere on me now. Goodness gracious. Alright, we're just going to do the edges here. And I'm going to grab my glue spreader. This is getting a little messy. And my glue spreader is a little thing I got from on Team. It looks like a little tiny spatula. That's what it looks like. If I can find it real quick. Excuse me, guys. You guys are seeing me there. Okay. Looks like a little spatula. And it just spreads the glue out, right? So many globs seeping through. Okay. Let's flip this over. Make sure we give ourselves at least an inch all the way around. Now this we're just going to do the cover. We're not going to be putting a signature in here. Okay, let's get this going. Let's get out of the way. I don't see any seepage, do you? Of the glue? Nope, I think we're good. Okay. Alright, let's miter our corners real quick, if that's possible. Okie dokie. Right there. Okay, one right here. Alrighty, almost done. I'm always so paranoid that I'm not going to leave enough fabric. I did that once and I was horrified. It took me forever to figure out how to fix it. which I ended up just taking one of these corners and tucking it underneath there to cover it up. Alright, I think we're good there. Alright. Let's go ahead and fold our edges over as quick as we can here. Come on. Stringy. Again, just start to the middle and work your way out. There we go. That's nice and straight there. Grab the middle a little bit more. Right here. There we go. Okay. Other side. Definitely this glue is getting down to the end. It is so stringy. It's coming out so slow. Okay. Again, start from the center. And work your way up. Yeah. Alright, looks like we're straight from this side. Okay, oops. Stuck again. I need to do laundry. Took me a little while to get the kitchen all cleaned up, and I really need to do laundry. I still got folios to work on tonight for the order that I'm almost done with. So I'm going to be up for a little while getting that stuff done, but I need to get this out to you guys. I was not going to not do a Friday video, even if it's late. Okay, where's my little glue spreader here to flatten this out here. Put that down, fold this part in. That's not helping. And fold this edge over and flip it up like that. Do the same thing over here. This part down, push this in, flip this edge over, and then flip it up. And there we go. There we go. That one went a lot smoother than the last one. Okay. Everything up here. All right. I think we're good there. Okay. Yeah. Just push this down here. All right. Let's do this side real quick. Look at all this glue on my fingers. There's glue everywhere, y'all. Alright, here we go again. Fold this side in. That. Fold this edge over. And then flip it up. Yep. There we go. Okay, same thing over here. Fold this piece in. Roll your edge and flip it up. There we go. What a mess. I don't know how Gail does it. She's so clean about it. Well, she's been doing this a lot longer than me. But I still wanted to share the project with you guys. I just love the soft cover. Okay. I think we're good here. I'm just going to smush this down. There we go. Smush this down over here. Push that down over there. Okay. Good Lord. How does she do it? She's so clean and tidy. I don't remember her being all gluey like me. I have to go back and watch it again. Okay. Glue everywhere. Okay. Let's put these together. Alright. Let's put glue in the center, right? we'll take the other one, line it up. Just trying to make sure that nothing's sticking out. This takes a little bit of working sometimes, I've noticed. Once you start out one side, the other side's messed up. You gotta keep going around and moving it around. Okay, I think we're good now. Yep, I think we're good. Oh, of course not. There we go. A little bit. Stick it out right there. I think we're good. Okay, here we go. All right. Now, if we're going to do a pocket, okay, I'm going to use this burlap. I thought about using this burlap book cover because it's all sealed on the inside. I don't have to worry about hemming it. Doing it this way to actually make it a little bit taller than this one, because this only goes like that, right? So I'm thinking this might be a good alternative. So I got this at Joann's. I don't know where else you could get it. I know that at Hobby Lobby they have this size craft paper. I think they have it in craft paper in black. It's 12 by 24. I know I've seen the large pieces at Hobby Lobby that you can get. You can do the same thing here, but it's not fabric, it's paper. So if you don't have this, right, a thick lace would work fine. Basically, all you would do is just line it up or pull it out, just like we did the middle piece, to where it's an inch longer on the ends. And you tuck that underneath in this gap here, and then we sew it all the way around, right? So that's that option. Or you can do it with lace, same deal. I would like to have something a little bit thicker than this, you know, just to have for a pocket. I might use this as more as a belly band on the inside. Would be an option, right? But you would just lay your lace or your ribbon down here at the bottom, and then again tuck it underneath, and then sew like you did with the middle piece, right? There's a crocheted option as well, but I don't think it's deep enough for a pocket. So, like I said, you want it to be at least 3 inches wide, I would say, just to make it useful as a pocket. I'm going to go ahead and use this burlap stuff here. So I'm going to cut a piece that is, I'm going to do it at 3 inches by 14. Yeah, I think 3 inches will be good. Or should I go deeper, you think? I think 3 inches is good. Let's get 3 by 14, yeah? Let this dry over here. Grab my big scissors. Thank you guys for hanging out with me if you're still here. Alright, I'm going to kind of eyeball this a little bit. Kind of pick a line. So that would be 3 inches, would be right here. 1, 2, 3. Should I go 4? I don't know if 3 inches is deep enough for a pocket. I don't think. Let's split the difference to 3.5. Okay, I'm going to do 3.5 wide. Yeah? Give or take. I'm going to pick this line right here. And just go down this thread all the way down. That should give me pretty straight. If I just follow this thread all the way down. Assuming that this thread is, this one thread here goes straight all the way down. We're about to find out. Let's see. Alright, that should be long enough. It said 14, right? So you can tuck it under. So 14 would be right about here, right? Let's get it about, let's say a little bit longer. Let's say 25. Okay. Alright, I've got such a mess going on. Alright, let's see here. This is the edge here, so we'll put it in this way. Does that look straight? It's pretty straight. I cut off a little bit right here. There we go, that's better. Okay, what are we going to do next? First, we get all this dry glue up here as much as we can. And fuzzies. a little paintbrush thing that I don't really have over here. I have a paintbrush I usually use to get this stuff off. Okay, take this sticker off here. So what we're gonna do is line it up here at the bottom, right, with the edge. Then we're gonna flip this part in, just like we did before, right, with the middle lace. Okay, I'm not gonna pin it this time, but I am going to tuck this in as hard as I can, and then pull this way so it tightens up, right? Put this in some more. I'm gonna hold this down. I'm gonna pull this way. So see how it tightens up there if I pull this way? All right. All right, hold that part down. And then I'm gonna fold this piece in as well. Let's go ahead and put some glue there. Hopefully that'll tack it down, or we can use a pin. Okay. See, that holds it in there. I'm gonna roll this across, make sure the bottom part here is even. And then we're gonna tuck this side in. Yeah? I'll hold that down with my elbow. Tuck this side in. Let that fall down and tighten up as well. Okay. I think that's nice and tight there. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna put some glue over here as well. Just get this one to set. Come on. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to press these down a little bit. And then I'm going to do some stitching. Yeah? So I'm going to do a straight stitch all the way around again. Right? I'm going to start in this back corner. Now, if you want to put lace in here, we can do that now as well. So we can do that now. I'm going to use this one or the crochet one. I think we're going to go with the crochet one. Yeah? Or we want to do both that. So we got roll up on the inside. I'm thinking we should do it on the outside too. What do you guys think? You like that one? Or this one, do you care? Just finish the damn book, Tiana. I think I like this one. There's that one. No, I like this one. Okay, we're gonna use this one. We use this one. Alright, let's put the crochet away. Put the pin away before I stick myself. And again, 14 inches. So I'm going to give myself an inch on either side. I'm going to eyeball it here. That looks about right. So we're going to cut right about here. Okay. Find the center of it here best we can. And we're going to fold this in just like we did with the burlap. Tuck it as tight as we can, and then we're going to pull so it tightens up on that side. Yeah. So we get it straight. That looks about straight to me. I'm going to hold it and tuck it in on this side as well. Yeah. Tuck it in there as tight as you can. And set it down. Hopefully it'll tighten itself up. There we go. Is that tight? I think so. That looks straight to me. All right. Let's tuck this in a little more over here. Okay. There we go. I think that's good. I feel like I want to put a pin in it too. Just to keep it down flat while we're sewing. I think we'll be okay though. Let's put a little Fabritac in there. Maybe that'll hold it down. That should hold it down for the time being while we go and sew. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Let's put a little bit of Fabritac on this side as well. Come on. There we go. I'm going to take my little glue spreader and push that in a little bit right here. Alright. Flip this over. I think we're good to go do a little stitching. What do you guys think? Yeah? Yeah, let's go do some stitching. And I will be right back, you guys. Okay? Hold, please. Ooh, this is getting long. Alright, you guys, I'm done. Did my stitching. I did a straight stitch all the way around. And grab the middle ribbon there like we did before. Right there, see? And then grab the pocket as well. Right there on the edge. Just held it down. So now we have a pocket in here. So once we fold it and we do our pamphlet stitch, right? Let's go fold this here. Like so, just kind of work it a little bit. Here we go. Once we do our pamphlet stitch, that'll give us our separation here, and you'll have a pocket on either side of the cover, right? And actually, this burlap wrap did really well on here. I think I'm going to use that again on here until I get some wider lace to use as well. All right, so there we go. Let's do a closure real quick on this one. And you know how to do the signature. We don't have time to do the signature, but we can do a closure on here. Let's see, how about we go with the brown flower? Oh, that will work. Right there? Yeah? Okay, let's just do that real quick. All right. Like I said before, measure out your elastic here. I'll start on one edge right here. Hold that down. We're going to go around once, twice, and then right there. Ought to do it. Cut it right here. That ought to be it. All right, let's thread our button real quick. This is a really quick and easy closure, you guys. I mean, it's super fast. A lot faster than anything else we did in this video. I think we're running up on 2 hours right now. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, you guys. Hope you don't mind too terribly much. All right. I'm going to hold it here. Wrap it around. That's perfect length. Okay. Let's go ahead and tie our knot here. Do left over right. Then the right one over the left one for our square knot. Okay. Let's pull that. I'm gonna pull, oops, almost pulled it too hard. I want to pull these ones. Almost lost my knot. Let's pull it tight. There we go. All right, we should be good to go now. Just hold our button down where we want it to close. Like this. And all done. Yeah? And there's our closure. And there is our cover. Or our journal. Or what have you. You can move your button wherever you want it. Right? Isn't that cute? I think these are cute. I love these. Like I said, I'm going to make a whole bunch of them soon. But aren't these just super cute? I love them. Anywho, if you guys stayed with me this long, thank you so much. We're about an hour and 45 minutes. I'm not going to edit it. I mean, it's stuff you need to know if you're going to make one of these, right? I know there's a lot of sewing. Well, not a whole lot of sewing, but this is the easy single stitch, right? I know there's, may seem like it'd be difficult, but it's really not. Just take your time, right? And I think these are super cute, you guys. I mean, come on. How cute are these? I love them. I love the little squishy noises that makes too. But, anywho, if you stayed with me this long, thank you again. If you are new to our channel and would like to subscribe, hit the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. And if you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you disliked it, that's fine too. Just don't be nasty about it. Tell me what you didn't like. I'm all about feedback. I love hearing from you guys. You guys know I love comments and I love reading them. And usually I respond pretty quickly. I think I haven't responded to the last ones I've gotten just because I haven't had time yet. But I will, I promise. And what else? I think that's it. Don't forget, in our description there'll be a link to our Etsy shop. Go check out what we have there. This series will be going up here very soon. We also have a link to our Ko-fi site where we have some free ephemera there for you guys to download for free, or if you'd like to support our channel and buy us a coffee, would be cool too. You don't have to. I will put a list of supplies for this project in the description as well below, as well as any links I think you guys might need. Okay? Now, I will talk to you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys in Saturday's series, in our series Saturday, where we're going to keep working on that lab book, and hopefully we're getting close to being done. All right? I'll see you guys then. I love you guys. Bye.